What's up guys, Yasser here. Welcome back to my channel. You're watching Yasser's Fit Frag. So today I'm going to show you some of the perfumes that would best suit a teenager, which obviously smells good, which can give you compliments, and obviously which are affordable as well. So I'm going to segregate it into three different categories. So one would be branded perfumes, which are ranging between 700 to 1600, and I would also show you some of the perfume oils or attars which are from two different sellers, and they range between 200 to 600. So I'm going to give you all the options that is possible for a teenager to buy, so that you need not only restrict yourself to branded perfumes which are slightly expensive, say 1000 plus. You can obviously have the option of buying perfume oil as well, which is ranging between 200 to 600 rupees. So first I would start with the branded perfumes, which I feel in my opinion would best suit teenagers, but that does not mean that these perfumes cannot be used by men who have crossed their teenage. They can definitely use it. So these lists which I'm going to show you would definitely suit men up to the age of 40 as well, but the reason why I'm categorizing these as teenage perfumes is because there are many perfumes that you see which may not suit teenagers. Like for example, let me help you understand the categorizing a little better. Take the example of Rasasi Lattafa Adidas. This is more of a woody, leathery fragrance, which in my opinion, I don't think would suit a teenager, because this is meant for more elderly men because of those dark, leathery, woody notes. You can even take the example of Mugler-Pure Malt, which has a very boozy opening. It smells more like how a glass of whiskey smells when you just pour it. So that's how the opening is. So I would not recommend this for teenagers again. Or let's take the example of Armani code Profumo, which is more for a matured man. It has tonka bean, cardamom and leather in the base. So again, this is not something I would recommend for teenagers. So that's the way I'm trying to categorize, because there are many perfumes which would not suit teenagers because they might smell more manly, more elderly. I don't think a teenager should smell like that, but obviously it's your personal choice. If you still like to smell something like those, like a matured man, then it's obviously your choice. So this is according to my opinion, because I think a teenager should smell more lively, more fresh, energetic, with that playful vibe. So let's get started with the list of teenager perfumes. So I would first categorize them as sport fragrances, because considering that teenagers are usually into sports, so I would start with those lists which I feel is best suitable for sports for a teenager. So the first one is Adidas Pure Game. So this is quite reasonable. It costs about, I think, between 600 to 800, and it definitely suits for sport occasion because it has citrus, vetiver and some woody notes in the background. I usually use this for my underarms before I go to gym. This does not project too loud, but it definitely stays on your skin for 6 to 7 hours easily, and it does not make you smell bad even when you sweat. So that's the good thing about this fragrance. So if you are somebody who do not want to smell too loud with your perfumes, but at the same time you do not want your sweat to create that bad odor around you, this is definitely a good choice. So the second one is Nautica Voyage. This is again a fresh melon cucumber note fragrance. I would definitely say that this lasts longer than Adidas Game. So if you are into sports, which you need to spend the whole day in sports, like say football or cricket, this is definitely a great choice, because this smells really good, very fresh, best during the summers, best during your sport occasions, and this will definitely make you smell great. So coming to the next one, this is something I would call as a versatile scent, nothing specific to sports only, and that is Titan Raw. And at the same time, just because I'm categorizing this as a teenager fragrance does not mean that men who have crossed their teenage cannot use this. This is definitely versatile, like I said. The reason why I'm placing this as a teenager fragrance as well is because, like I mentioned in my review, you can watch it using the above link. This smells more like a frozen mojito to me, and frozen mojito is not something which only teenagers would drink. It is preferred by any age group for that matter, and that's the reason I'm including this for teenagers as well. And this is something which you can use for sports, for your classes, your college, your outing with your friends, any occasion for that matter. Definitely a good scent for summer. Now coming to the casual setups for teenagers, This is not something that I would recommend for your sports, because there are two in the list which I'm going to show you, and these are not something which would smell great when you sweat, so avoid using this when you are going for any sports. So the first one would be Armaf Odyssey White Edition, and this has a similarity of Invictus from Paco Rabanne. I don't know if you guys know about this. This is very similar in the opening. So this smells like Invictus, maybe 80% in the opening, but only for the first half an hour in my opinion. After half an hour, it changes to a more wild leaves and gourmandish, a little bit of dark chocolatey vibe. And that's the reason I feel this would definitely suit young boys in their teenage for a casual setup. So the next one is Armaf Ventana, which is known to be a clone of Dior Sauvage. The reason why I'm placing this as a teenager scent is because when you compare this with Dior Sauvage, this has a more fruity opening. Dior Sauvage has a peppery opening, which is not seen in this one. So I would say that Dior Sauvage is meant for elderly men, and this is something that a teenager can wear. Again, does not mean that men who have crossed the teenagers should not wear this. This again smells very similar to Dior Sauvage in the dry down, but just because this has a fruity opening, I have classified this as a teenager fragrance. Okay, so I think that's about branded perfumes. Now coming to ATTARS or perfume oils, you can definitely go for Almas Cool Weather. This is a roll-on again of 8 ml. I've done a separate video. You can watch it using the above link. So this is how it comes. There is a roll-on inside this pack, and it's an 8 ml. And it is very, very strong, and it is very close to David of Cool Water, just like I mentioned in that video. So if you like cool water, and if you cannot spend so much on a fragrance, then definitely go for this. It is easily available in Flipkart or Amazon for 180 rupees, I believe. If you can get a hold of any local sellers, they can give it for 120 rupees as well, because I buy it from a local seller who sells ATTARS near the mosque, so he sells it for 120 rupees. And just because it is very strong, this is more like an eau de parfum version of David of Cool Water, in my opinion. I usually make perfume sprays out of this, and I use 2 bottles of this, and then I make 100 ml by adding ethanol to make it a little lighter. So that's about the first ATTAR. And now coming to ATTARS from Gazzaz, you can watch my video using this link. I've made a separate video on Gazzaz ATTARS. So the first one, in my opinion, that would suit a teenager is Invictus, which is again very close to this one, but this has a more floral opening compared to Paco Rabanne Invictus, and that is why I would recommend this for a teenager, because definitely after half an hour it is very much alike with Paco Rabanne Invictus. So the second one is Hugo Boss Infinite. I'm sorry, there is no sticker around this. This again, I've made perfume sprays out of that particular attar by adding ethanol. Again, Hugo Boss Infinite also has a very fruity floral opening. So definitely not floral in the feminine way. It has that floral limitations to about half an hour, and then it starts developing those masculine vibes, which I think would definitely suit for teenage boys. So coming to the next collections, which is from Perfume Depot, which is from Mumbai. And the first one again from the Perfume Depot collection is 212 VIP, which I have recommended in my previous video as well. You can watch the complete video on Perfume Depot using the above link. So 212 VIP is something which I recommend for most of my viewers and most of my friends, because the number of compliments I got from this one is the highest compared to all the other Perfume Depot collections that I have. So this has that little bit of sweetness, but it also has that mix of fresh notes. So it's not totally sweet and it's not totally citrus as well. It is well blended and balanced in between. So if you do not like too sweet or too citrusy fragrance, this is definitely a great choice. And again, this is not something that is meant for teenagers only. This can be worn by any age group for that matter. Obviously, all the lists that I mentioned can be worn by any age group depending on your personal taste. So coming to the last one from Perfume Depot, obviously there are many collections in both Perfume Depot and Gazzaz, but I'm restricting it to 2 from each, considering the ones that would most suit a teenager. So I've picked the ones which has that, you know, fruity vibe with that little bit of floral touch, which most of the young guys prefer. And the next one from Perfume Depot would be Ultra Male. Again, this is something which I highly recommend. So anything that you buy from Perfume Depot comes in this kind of a can. This is obviously something else. This is of Black Orchid, but obviously whatever you order, he would give the sticker of that particular one. So this is the 25 ml, 50 ml, 100 ml can. He fills it according to your order. And he would also give this roll-on bottle so that you can pour it into this and then use them. But if you want to make perfume sprays out of these, you will obviously have to buy ethanol and make it on your own, just like how I prepare. You can watch that link which I have provided, where I've made a separate video on that in case you are interested in making perfume sprays by adding ethanol. But otherwise, if you want to use it as a roll-on, you can just order a 25 ml can and then pour it into that 8 ml bottle and then use them. So this is again a perfume spray which I have prepared from Ultra Male that I bought from Perfume Depot. And this is very close to Jean Paul Gaultier Ultra Male. I have also mentioned this in that video which I have made. And this has a very strong and sweet opening. The sweetness is not from the floral notes, but it's from the pear note. And majority of women love this one. Same like this one. They usually get confused if that is a women's fragrance because of that sweetness, but at the same time, they also say that it smells fantastic. So highly recommended Ultra Male if you like sweet fragrance from the pear note. His 100 ml costs about 1,100, which I think nobody can give you a concentrated perfume oil for 1,100, at least from what I have seen. And this guy sells all export quality perfume oils. You can definitely try many of his collections. Whenever you buy 25 ml, you can simply ask for 2 ml samples where he charges 30 rupees for each 2 ml. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time in another video. Cheers.